Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya and this is Granola, my coffee core forever island. And I've been getting really into building on this island, so I have made actually 3 builds to share with you today. The first of which was recorded on a members only live stream, and then there are 2 smaller builds that are ones that I did on my own, and I will timestamp them of course so you can check them out in whatever order you would like. So let's get right into it. Jitters, stop it. So this area here is where the park is going to be, where I've marked it out with in-game pathing on the new upgraded Granola. This is the area that I've delineated for the park. I've put down trees and some shrubs to outline it. Man, it looks so big on the map, but then in person you can put it into like a single frame, and I think it's like the perfect size for a little park. Actually, it's giving coffee core exactly. So I was thinking, do I layer the dirt and rock path over, or do I use a grass path and download something new? I don't have a whole lot of space for new paths. It's kind of dismal. I mean, it was fine when it was a tiny park that was all dirt, but having a giant park like this that's all dirt, isn't it kind of depressing? I like having dirt, and I want dirt to be on like a vast majority of this park, but I don't know if I really want it to all be dirt. Let me just get Pinterest open real quick. See, I was thinking something like this that is tileable, and then I can kind of maybe even put fencing on either side. I want dirt without it being dirt. Oh, this was actually the other one that I was thinking of because it is so beautiful. And again, I could just get a center. Let's get into this, downloading some custom designs, see if we have any space at all for it. Oh my God, I love this one. I wish I could have them all. It's thick. Oh, this is the same one, isn't it, Taya? You just want to try it. Maybe I will try this one. Grass. Now let's also download that other one. Back trickety track. See, this has more flowers in it. When I'm seeing it in this format, I'm like, that has a lot more flowers in it than I was expecting. Lots of 4s in this code. Holy, oh, I'm not showing you anything. Oh, this is the one with all the cute blanket codes. Oh my God, every time I go accidentally back to this creator, I should really favorite this creator on Granola Switch. See, this one is just like basica grass. That's kind of the energy that I'm looking for. That is showing through enough grass, or sorry, enough dirt that I could use that in places in this park, and I think that that would be very cute. See, I like how green that one is. I think I could download some pieces from this path. It does look more lush and overgrown. It's growing on me. The more that I look at it, the more I'm like, that might be the actual one that I want. I kind of wanted to put like a grassy area on either side, and then like stepping stones through the middle kind of thing. Okay, I've got a grass path, period. And that's where we're starting. But I want to also establish the flow through this park, maybe with some stepping stones. Let's start there. Initially, I didn't want to use my dirt path on top of the dirt in-game path. I don't know what my aversion exactly to that was, but I thought that I could get away with just doing stepping stones and kind of, you know, alternate them so that it would work properly. And essentially, I was just trying to create this initial flow, like I said, through this area to just mark it out. But I ended up switching it over to the dirt path that has some rocks in it, and then just putting some of these loose rock paths scattered around it to kind of add into more of the like, this is the crushed, packed down area of the dirt where everybody walks through this path. And I do like having distinctive entrances and exits to areas. That's something that I used to focus a lot on in my first island, was just like, where are the entry points and exit points to this build, and how can I run through it? What kind of joy will this build give me as I'm just like passing by it doing my dailies, doing stuff. And on the original Glenny, there was a rock garden in this area, but of course, this is just going to be a straight park. And once I had this figured out, I did get to putting in the grass path on either side, but I'm really happy with how this initial path is coming along. Okay, I'm really enjoying this pathway down the middle of the park, actually. That was a really good establishing move. Maybe this grass path idea was not it. Let me just see if there are any paths that I can remove, because I do want this grass path. I want the whole thing. Ah yes, I forgot to explain that part of my initial plan. I just downloaded like the left and right pieces to this path and thought, oh, I'll just disguise the top and the bottom of the path and not use all of the whole 9 tiles, but I ended up thinking that was kind of dumb and wanting the grass path anyways, so I went back in and downloaded the whole thing so that I could use it more easily. This was a very trust the process build because I took a lot of missteps, and this was one of my first missteps, is that I started placing down grass path before I had even placed down like flowers or anything. So I'm gonna skip over this because I end up going to get flowers so that, like, I don't know why I started mapping out the grass, because this is clearly a park where I wanted to put flowers down. Anyways. The way that she still keeps wearing this outfit makes me want to scream. I don't know who gave it to her. I've reported it, so I don't know why she still keeps wearing it, but it is one of the most heinous outfits of all time. Who made her into Elvis? Who decided she was going to be Elvis? I did not approve this. Let's start adding some flowers. That kind of looks dumb. Never mind. Oh, I kind of like just the 3 of them like that. Maybe the white one like this. Ooh, a little running guard. Oh, that's cute. Okay, park. Okay, park. Okay, Queen Park. I once again need to reiterate how much of a trust the process build this is. In the end, this park is one of my favorite areas that I've ever had on Granoli. Sometimes I do call it Granoli. So yeah, if it's looking a little spring core, just stay with me. It'll come together. And this is too many flowers, okay? And I know that, and I'm aware that clumps of 4 flowers might be a little bit overkill, but hey, it's a park. Is it giving park or is it not giving park? I think it is giving park. I am leaving in a lot of me moving around the flowers to other areas because I think it's kind of important to see that, like, I don't just put them down and then it's all good and then never change them again. And picking up flowers, moving them around and changing around the pathing, it's just what you have to do to get a build that you like sometimes. Okay, I love this. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Oh my god, and then we're gonna have benches and like, this is really cute. It's an actual park. You know what? Maybe some of these flowers, we gotta keep shuffling. Because I think it is too much. Okay, shovel, that was rude. Okay, I do like this a little bit. It's trust the process. We're having to trust the process in this moment a little bit more than might be comfortable, but hey, we're gonna get there. We're gonna make it through this. Yeah, I think making them more vertical or more horizontal, the little clumps of flowers, the better. And I definitely shouldn't have put any grass in place before I put these flowers in place because it is truly messing up the vibe. And I need some help with how to lay down a 9-tile path in a more, like, less chaotic way than what I normally do. Because what I tend to do is just pick one part of the 9-tile path and then mentally I tend to know approximately where I'm putting each section of pathing. So I just run around to see Where do I need a bottom left corner? Where can I put a middle tile right now? And so it's just too chaotic. And if I had a more formulaic way of going about it, maybe it'd be faster. But honestly, my way still works. I still get the job done. So yeah, it's just a little bit more scatterbrained feeling than it would be if I had an actual plan in my mind of how to lay this out. That being said, I am so glad that I decided to make room for this grass path. Finding paths on a forever island is much different than like when you're first starting a brand new island and you have all of these aspirations for the island and you just fill up your custom design slots like willy-nilly. Now I'm having to be at the point where I'm being very careful about it, and every time I add a new path, it's like I get just like a fresh burst of inspiration because I'm adding in something new into the mix. So I'm very excited to have this grass path to use. I love layering grass over other in-game pathing, making it just look very grown over and like more natural and stuff. So I think it's really cool. I'm using a lot of just like single tile flooring or like a couple of different tiles flooring for a lot of this island. So I have a lot more room to have more of this natural 9 tile path, and maybe I'll get other pieces of it in the future. Who knows? But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's super lush and like rich feeling and just adds a lot of color too. Do I need to fill in any more little areas? Did I leave any chunks untouched? I don't really like this. I'm gonna get rid of this like long thing that just comes down like this. I kind of like this side being a little bit more dirt. Only dirt. Like OnlyFans, but dirt. I'm gonna get demonetized. This video is getting demonetized. Algorithm, YouTube, Animal Crossing, viral video, Animal Crossing, YouTuber, girl gamer, hashtag girl gamer. Did I used to use that hashtag? I don't know. Hashtag cozy gamer, hashtag Animal Crossing, dirt. Should it be that fence or should it be a vertical board fence? This feels more like a backyard though too, actually. Instead of a public park, it does feel more backyardy. I think I'm gonna have to change out this tree because I don't want to have a stunting tree behind here. I want it to be a full tree. Yeah, I kind of like that along the back of there. And then maybe on the front, I can put, or even in front of that, a little layered moment. That's interesting and weird. Hello, balloon. This is kind of giving spring core energy with that fence, though. I wonder if the fence, if the hedge fence would add in a little bit more fall color and kind of just like ground it back into this park moment. Okay, let's, you know, put a little border on the edge of this park. Actually, I think I might just cap it off like this and then do another type of fence along the front or something like that. Actually, we could do like a little hedge across here until the tree. Balloon Central over here. Geez, they're like, we know where you're going to be staying for the next little bit, so we're just going to chuck a lot of balloons your way. At this point, the build was cooking. It was feeling great. I added hedges around the whole outside perimeter of this area and started to get a little bit of furniture involved, some log stakes as a kind of fence that went around here. Instead of fencing, I kind of like log stakes for more natural areas, and you can bend them, you can rotate them so that they kind of like look a little bit more organic and fluid. It just reminds me of like old hiking trails that I've been on here in Canada. Speaking of hiking trails, I'm probably going to be making another area on Granola that is actually a hiking trail, and I'll probably be using very similar things to this area, but as you see, as I add more furniture, it does become more like a city park and less like a super rural kind of area. A place to come to eat your little lunch out of your lunchbox. Oh my god, my villagers are gonna sit in here and I'm gonna cry. Completely unrelated to this build, I have something that I want to talk about and get off my chest because I'm really excited about it and it makes me really happy, and I don't know how I didn't notice it last year when it was like quote unquote kind of trending. But natural dark blonde hair, which is what I have, and I've been fighting it for so many years of my life. I've bleached my hair or just not felt comfortable with my hair color. Like, oh, should it be more dark? Should it be more blonde? Like, I could not be satisfied with just the dishwater blonde or mousy blonde. I always referred to it as mousy. In order to have aesthetically pleasing, perfectly blonde hair and to claim myself as being blonde, I had to like ruin my hair with bleach. Let's change topics and hear from real-time Taya, and then I want to keep on talking about this because I'm so damn excited. This is adorable. I'm kind of obsessed with this park. For all the time that it took me to get the paths established, now that I have the paths established, I really like it. Let me just remove my camera for a second so you can see the whole park. I think I want to go back through my storage and get a couple more items out, but I like the fact that it's a lot of dirt and then grass and other dirt pathing to kind of pull it through. Like the fact that there's little clumps of grass kind of makes it feel more like a city park where they're like, yeah, we keep some little grass patches so that people can have their dogs go poop, but mostly it's going to be paths and trails and benches to sit on. Like it's been worn away. And this is how kind of, you know, maybe the fall grass is just kind of like, it's turning brown, everything. Back to my little blonde exploration. I've been looking through this morning pictures and videos of people who were saying like, I was so blonde when I was like 5 years old and I had a really hard time like letting my super blonde hair go and like watching my hair get darker as I got older, which is totally a natural thing that happens to natural blondes. It's honestly so expensive to do a natural platinum blonde, like without over time just wearing down the structural integrity of your hair, as I found. And I've already been forced to grow out the bleach that I did have in my hair, but just knowing that like it's okay not to go back to bleach or to dye it darker and make it either distinctively blonde or distinctively brown, I could just like be okay with myself. I never thought that that was something that I was trying to change about myself and not accepting about myself, but seeing people who want to keep their natural hair has kind of helped me like chill and like actually see my hair as beautiful. So that's pretty cool. Actually, that duck does look pretty sick. The duck looks pretty sick in this park. Like, ill. Yeah, that's cute. Oh my god. I don't know if I over decorated, you know, when you do that, when you're just like, I kept throwing down stuff and then maybe I'll end up taking some stuff out, but geez, this park is really cute to me. I like this a lot. This is really cute. And it's definitely enough space that my villagers will walk through here and like enjoy it as well. Oh, this side of it is my favorite. That's so cute. Let's just take some final shots of it, shall we? I should be feeding this duck, but I'm just dancing at it. Maybe the duck needed a dance inspiration party. The duck needed entertainment. The duck, and this one is getting jealous now, so we definitely don't want duck jealousy in this park. So I'll give you the same dance over on this side. So I hope you all enjoyed the park. I think it turned out gorgeous and I'm so happy with like the vibe that it brings to the island, and continuing that vibe. We have a school behind where the park is, beside my house, to the left of my house. This was gonna be a actual school build on the first version of Granola Coffee Core Edition. Granola 2.0.1 I had like my school within the build, and it was kind of part of the school. Like it was still decorated like an indoor outdoor build. This one is going to be different. This is just going to be a fake building. I just wanted it to feel old and like an old institution that has like some grandeur, has some prestige and esteem behind it. You're going here for some serious study. Whenever I think about coffee, I think about studying and being in school. Did my school look like this? Not at all. My college did not look like this in any way. But I'm thinking of it as a university. So there's the park in front of it, and then beyond that is kind of a shopping district area. And nearby to this, I am going to be making a library build and an office build. So this is kind of going to set the tone for both of those subsequent areas. It is so funny that there's like this romantic kind of feeling surrounding school. There's like this dark academia became a huge thing, and then it was just, oh, aesthetic pictures of study guides and like staying up late with a coffee, and it's so aesthetic and you're a little bit frazzled because you're in school. Like it's honestly, it's not like that. At least from my experience, it was a lot more messy. I did go to school for illustration. I went to an art college, and that was like my main study throughout school. So I really didn't have this like academic old school Hogwarts adjacent experience. My high school, one of the high schools that I went to was actually older in Canada, so it had that like more old building kind of vibe, single paned windows, etc. Cold as heck. And these old buildings are not as romantic as I sometimes think they are in my head, but on Granola it is. You can walk the halls of this prestigious building and learn about science and geography. This is the kind of school that you like go to and you study like Egyptology. Shout out to all the Egyptologists working today in the field, like Tomb Raider style. Shout out Laura Croft. I don't know. I never got into that. It probably wasn't for my demographic. It wasn't made for me. Why am I talking about this? Laura Croft Tomb Raider aside, I am creating a little road outside of this school area, and I thought that I wanted the road to like continue to the left and right, but it did not make sense for me to do that. So ignore me kind of like building it off to the right and like including the road in front of my house, which doesn't really make much sense. But I am including the whole process just so that you can see the whole process, because I don't want to remove anything that kind of adds to the more organic feel of these videos anymore. I used to cut out a lot, or like while I was filming, I would try to, you know, make it perfect. Like if I had messed up the road to this point like this, I would have taken everything down and then redone it that when I had a better idea in my mind, but I'm leaving it in now because this is genuinely how it went. I also made the top part of this little mini cul-de-sac centerpiece a lot more narrow. And once I realized that I had made it more narrow, I went back and extended it out one more space so that it was an even number of spaces all the way around that circle. And then I removed the little area that I had put in front of my house because I wanted that to be just sidewalk. I realized if it's a little bit of an insulated little roundabout, turnabout, this is like the college drop-off circle. I think there's something in my mind that wants to like make it a build that would make sense. The road doesn't connect to anything, like that kind of hurts my brain a little bit. But really, it does not matter. Like, it does not matter if a road starts in the middle of nowhere and then just like goes nowhere. This is just a little insulated picture that I can take, a little insulated build, and I love the roundabout with the crosswalks. Makes it feel a lot more realistic to me. And I almost caught a perfect picture of the fountain going off, and I missed it by barely a second, but I'll get it again. And then I got distracted because it actually looked really cute, or was starting to look like it was coming together. With my house over to the left, it kind of breaks the perspective slightly. So I might add in another tree or two that's bigger to kind of divide my house build from this build in the future. But I think it's cute. It just kind of looks like the build is set a little bit further back. And I did want to use that grass path again because I was excited. I had just downloaded that grass path. So I got a little bit zealous with the grass and extended it a little bit further than I even needed to. Like I brought it back over onto this like little peninsula strip that I kind of have to the left here. And I'm going to remove that. I ended up removing that later on. I might actually end up putting the library over here on this little raised area. I did end up decorating Anacati and Charlize's house down in that area below on the second level, but this third level terraforming here, I'm pretty sure is going to become the library because it's connected to the school and it would work perfectly. And I am an absolute sucker for marketplace decorations. Unfortunately, I don't think that you will be able to get these anymore because they're through Pocket Camp. But, you know, if you use Treasure Islands, you'll be able to get whatever the heck you want. I can use marketplace decorations till the cows come home. So I will. So I will. And this build is almost done, but one thing that I always had on Granola and a lot of other islands is a pipe that leads to the front of the island. So I put down a pipe right by this build, and then I brought one down to the front of the island so that I can quickly get from the front to the back. Another one that I would like is to go from left to right. It's too bad that there isn't like a red pipe and a green pipe so that you can have two different like warp points. If you add another one, then it's like it'll just take you to a random place. I mean, it could work. I could add a third one to the left of my island and another one to the right of my island and just like play a roulette every time I want to get somewhere. Could be chaotic, could be fun. Anyways, here is the final Coffee Core Granola school area. I'm so happy with it. I love the fountain in the middle. I love the stained glass doors, and all of the medieval building sides and everything just came together so cute with the towers on either side. Chef's kiss, and on to the next build. And this final build of the video is a cafe, of course, because what is Coffee Core without at least 5 different cafe areas? And this is the very first that I'm building on the rebuilt version of Granola, and I love how it turned out so much. I love using this green tile in small select places. If I use it too heavily in an area, it tends to kind of get a little bit eye hurty. I decided to not use this brick in the end. I went with just this white, I'm calling it library tile because I made it for my library area. And once I had the path kind of established for this area, I did go in with some fencing, which is just the typical thing that I've been doing lately, and it does help to establish the area just with some fencing. If I'm doing shrubs, if I'm doing flowers, I'll also add that in at this point. But I mean, hedge fencing combined with another type of fence make any area instantly an area that I want to be in. So that was definitely step 1 for this build as well. Moving around some trees just so that I could put in fencing. And then we get into the meat of this little fake building build. It's one of those fake buildings that has a little bit more going on, a little bit less of a fake building than the school, which is quite ornamental. This one is more of a little shop that I did put items inside of to make it look like, you know, indoor outdoor kind of thing. Like they have a counter that kind of faces the street. It did take me a long time to get the colors down for this build and also the spacing. I'm basing it off of this Instagram post that I found on Pinterest with this little cafe. They have a bunch of different layouts for these little buildings, and I tried to give it a twist to make it my own, and I did successfully make it slightly more my own, but I ended up pretty much rebuilding it as they've made it because, hey, they did the hard work to find out how to make it work, and I was trying to reinvent the wheel because I thought that I could make it my own, but I couldn't. I ended up bailing. I ended up just making it the way that they said. The main thing really was that there's a tree in the back behind there. So once I add that tree in, everything came together. I was like, okay, now this build makes sense to me because part of the building is blocked off by that tree and makes it look like it continues back evenly with 3 squares for that storefront, but it's not. Anyways, once I had that down, it looked great. I ended up going with the pear pie and the pear tart for my little food items because pears are the native fruit on granola, so that felt accurate, appropriate. I added a simple panel in front of this storefront because I did want to extend the building slightly from the original design, and put a Schiflera in front because it's kind of hiding the simple panel, making it look more like realistic almost in my mind. I love using these metal and wood table and chair sets for cafes like this, and I feel like they match in with the kind of outdoor seating vibe of this little area. I put in a couple of different little signs and a trash can onto this side. I was kind of ruining the walkway in that one area, and I did have this kind of patio section already marked out, so that's where I wanted to keep the chairs. I wish that these chairs didn't have arms on them so that the villagers could actually sit in this spot. And I have noticed that the villagers don't even come up here recently, like through the park and through the school area, but I think that's because there are so many other much more open areas on the island right now, and once I start to fill in all the different areas, they'll explore different zones of the island, or at least that is my hope. I'm so obsessed with these little plants that I added on this side. I don't know why, but the coffee plant and the little anthurium plant stacked together is my favorite thing. And of course, my classic green street lamps. Kyle was already checking it out a little bit, and this is how the bakery turned out. It's not a bakery, it's a cafe. I keep saying bakery, and I've probably said it like 3 times within this video, but it is distinctively a cafe with baked goods. So that is all 3 areas for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed watching. I really enjoyed just playing and making these. Granola is coming together so well already. I'm absolutely obsessed with the vibes, the color palette, and everything. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are not already, and remember to like the video because it helps me out so much, and I'll see ya all in the next one. Bye everybody. Water, that would be good. Look, I have a full ass, tall ass glass of water beside me. For what? So that I can have it sitting there for decoration. Somebody says, drink water, you have a full glass beside you. That's decor. And that's just the vibe. I want to present as a hydrated person, but I don't want to actually be a hydrated person.